Driving a we're driving 2004 GMC Sierra, and this vehicle came in with a P0894 transmission component slipping, and we're going to show you what causes that. Basically, what's happening is when the torque converter clutch duty cycle commands on, the slips do not drop, as you can see right here. See, we are all the way up to 90%, and the slips are high. They're 130. We're almost at 98, 99% there. So if you continue to drive it like that, eventually it'll store this code. So what's going on? The transmission is telling the torque converter clutch solenoid to apply the torque converter clutch, and as you can see, it's not happening. And this is what causes P0894. Those slips should be under 50 RPMs at this point in time. And you can see they're way over 90. Okay, so just to clarify a few things, it was kind of hard to hold the phone steady when I was going down the interstate, but basically the torque converter clutch duty cycle percent, that's the solenoid being turned on. When that turns on, then this parameter right here, the TCC slip speed RPM, that should drop under 50. Normally this one only has to come on about 30 to 70% on this model, and this slip will be low. If this thing is maxing out at 90, what you've seen, and this slip is way over 100, it's going to store a 894, which is a transmission component slipping. So what causes this code? What's going on? Most of the time it's going to be a transmission and torque converter overhaul that corrects this problem. Let me show you the inside of a torque converter and let you see what's going on. We actually have one here that we've cut apart. This is out of a Ford, but it's the only one I have cut apart right now. And basically what happens is we cut the weld off right here. That's where it's welded together. So we go in, I already did that, and this is the clutch. Now this clutch right here, it applies to this back cover, which in turn bolts to the engine through the flywheel. So when the solenoid comes on, fluid pressure comes from behind the clutch and locks it to this cover right here. And it should slip under, it's designed to slip. Fords aren't designed to slip at all, but GMs are designed to slip around 50, under 50 RPM, somewhere around there. So it's a controlled slip basically. So when this clutch is not fully applied to this cover, then it slips more than 50 RPMs and you get the 894. So what can cause that? Well, usually it's the clutch in the converter that's bad. That's usually what we see, but there are some issues with the transmission. This is a transmission out of a BMW. It's the only one I've got assembled I can show you. There may be some problems up here where the clutch seals to the input shaft. Another common problem, I'll take you over here to a Honda, is the valve bodies. Now the valve bodies on GMs are famous for the valves wearing out, and there's an updated kit that you put in the valve body to keep the pressure high to apply the clutch. So it's usually removing the transmission, rebuilding the torque converter, and rebuilding the transmission and updating the valve body. That's what it usually is on General Motors and some other cars as well. And that gets the slips under 50 RPMs. You drive it, you watch those parameters we just looked at, and when the solenoid is turned on, as long as those slips drop under 50 and hold, then your code 894 will go away. 894 can also be caused by some clutches slipping in the transmission as well for overdrive or third. But most commonly we see the torque converter clutch slipping. That's what we see that causes the 894. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe.